Imagine you are formulating a drug compound in a pharmaceutical lab, and just a slight miscalculation in the amounts of reactants could mean the medicine is either too weak or dangerously concentrated. That one number matters more than you think. I am Miss Kathy, and today we are going to explore stoichiometry, the quantitative heart of chemical reactions. You will learn how to calculate exact amounts of reactants and products and why this precision is absolutely critical in biomedical and engineering applications. Let us dive in together and build this essential skill. Take a moment to carefully study this diagram and note the key relationships and values shown. By the end of this session, we are focusing on one foundational but absolutely critical concept: the mole. Specifically, you will be able to define what a mole means in terms of Avogadro's number. This might sound simple, but getting this right is the foundation for everything in stoichiometry, from calculating reactant quantities to designing chemical processes in real engineering systems. So let us get into it. Now let us talk about the mole and Avogadro's number, two foundational ideas you absolutely need in stoichiometry. The mole is the chemist's and engineers' counting unit for incredibly large numbers of particles, and Avogadro's number tells us exactly how many particles make up one mole. Understanding this concept allows engineers to connect the microscopic world of atoms and molecules to measurable, real-world quantities used in industrial processes and chemical reactions. Take a moment to carefully study this diagram and note the key relationships and values shown. When we work with chemical reactions, we are dealing with atoms and molecules that are impossibly tiny, far too small to count or weigh individually. So chemists and engineers use a special counting unit called the mole. 1 mole is defined as the amount of substance that contains the same number of particles as there are atoms in exactly 12 grams of carbon-12. That fixed number is 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23, known as Avogadro's constant. Think of it like a dozen. Just as a dozen always means 12 of anything, 1 mole always means 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 of anything, whether that is atoms, molecules, or ions. Here is what makes this powerful in engineering. The mole connects the microscopic world of particles to the macroscopic world of grams you can actually measure in a lab or industrial process. The relative atomic or molecular mass of any substance, expressed in grams, contains exactly 1 mole of particles. So if you know the mass, you know the number of particles, and that is the foundation of all stoichiometric calculations you will be doing throughout this topic. Now, 1 mole always contains the same fixed number of particles, and that number is 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. We call this Avogadro's constant, symbol Na. But here is the important distinction. What counts as a particle depends on the type of substance. For elements, we count atoms. For covalent compounds, like water, we count molecules. For ionic compounds, like sodium chloride, we count formula units, which are ion pairs. Think of it like a dozen eggs. 1 dozen always means 12, whether those are chicken eggs, quail eggs, or duck eggs. The count stays the same, but what you are counting changes. That same logic applies to the mole. In engineering practice, knowing exactly what entity you are counting matters when you calculate reaction quantities, design chemical processes, or determine how much of a substance reacts or is produced. Getting this distinction wrong leads to errors in your stoichiometric calculations, so make sure you are always clear on whether you are working with atoms, molecules, or formula units. Here is your chance to attempt this before I walk you through it. Pause now and think carefully about what the mole actually represents as a unit, and recall the specific numerical value tied to Avogadro's number. So 1 mole represents a counting unit, specifically 6.022 times 10 to the power of 23 particles, whether those are atoms, molecules, or ions. That number is Avogadro's number. Think of it like a dozen, meaning 12. A mole simply means that enormously large quantity. In engineering, this bridges the gap between the atomic scale and measurable, workable masses in real processes. Now, let us talk about converting between moles and particles, and this is where Avogadro's number becomes your essential tool. 1 mole of any substance always contains exactly 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 particles. That number is called Avogadro's number, represented as N subscript A. Depending on the substance, those particles could be atoms, molecules, or formula units. The conversion formulas are straightforward. To find the number of particles, you multiply moles by Avogadro's number. To find moles, you divide the number of particles by Avogadro's number. Think of it like a dozen eggs. 1 dozen always means 12. 1 mole always means 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23. The word mole is simply chemists' way of counting at the atomic scale. And here is the important connection for engineering work. This particle-to-mole relationship links directly to mass through molar mass. So once you can convert particles to moles, you are 1 step away from working with measurable, real-world quantities in grams. That bridge is what makes stoichiometric calculations practically useful in process engineering and chemical manufacturing. Here is your chance to attempt this before I walk you through it. Pause now and see how far you get on your own. So, we want to find the number of molecules in 3 moles of a substance. Step 1 is recalling the key relationship. The number of particles equals the number of moles multiplied by Avogadro's constant, which is 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 per mole. Step 2 is identifying what we already know. We have 3 moles given, and Avogadro's constant is always a fixed value. A common mistake here is forgetting that Avogadro's constant has units of per mole, so the moles cancel out cleanly, leaving you with just a count of particles, no units. Multiply 3 by 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23, and you get 1.806 times 10 to the power of 24 molecules. That is a staggeringly large number, which reminds us just how tiny individual molecules really are. In step 3, we substitute the values into the relationship we set up earlier. We have 3 moles of carbon dioxide, so we multiply 3 by Avogadro's constant, which is 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. In step 4, we carry out the multiplication. 3 times 6.02 gives us 18.06, and we keep the power of 10 unchanged, giving 18.06 times 10 to the power 23. Now, a common mistake here is forgetting to convert this into proper scientific notation. We shift the decimal 1 place left, which increases the power by 1, giving us 1.806 times 10 to the power 24 molecules of carbon dioxide. Physically, this tells us that just 3 moles of any gas contains over 1.8 sextillion molecules, reinforcing just how enormous Avogadro's number truly is in engineering contexts. Now, why do chemists and engineers even need something called a mole? Think about this. Atoms and molecules are incredibly tiny. You cannot count them one by one, and you certainly cannot weigh a single atom on any practical scale. So we need a counting unit that bridges the atomic world and the real, measurable world. A mole is defined as the amount of substance that contains the same number of particles as exactly 12 grams of carbon-12. That fixed number is 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23, which we call Avogadro's number. Here is the analogy that makes this click. Think of a dozen. When you order a dozen eggs, everyone knows that means exactly 12 eggs. A mole works exactly the same way. Instead of 12, it just means 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 items. The word mole is simply a counting word, just at a scale suited for atoms and molecules. What makes this powerful is that it applies to any particle type, atoms, molecules, or formula units of ionic compounds. In engineering practice, whether you are designing a chemical reactor or calculating fuel consumption, the mole is your bridge between the microscopic world of chemistry and the macroscopic world of mass and volume that you can actually measure and work with. Let us talk about Avogadro's constant, which is one of the most fundamental values in all of chemistry and chemical engineering. Avogadro's constant, written as Na, is defined as the number of atoms found in exactly 12 grams of carbon-12. That value is 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 particles. And this applies whether you are counting atoms in an element, molecules in a compound, or formula units in an ionic substance. Think of it like a dozen eggs, except instead of 12, 1 mole always means 6.02 times 10 to the power of 23 of whatever particle you are working with. It is simply a counting unit, just at an astronomically large scale. Now, why carbon-12 specifically? Because the entire relative atomic mass scale is also based on carbon-12 as its reference standard. This keeps everything internally consistent across chemistry and engineering calculations. In engineering practice, Avogadro's constant is what connects the microscopic world of atoms and molecules to the macroscopic quantities you can actually measure and work with in a laboratory or industrial process. Understanding this link is essential before you can confidently work with moles and stoichiometric calculations. Take a moment to carefully study this diagram and note the key relationships and values shown. Before we move on, here's your chance to attempt this before I walk you through it. Pause now and think carefully about this in your own words. So, what does 1 mole actually mean? A mole is simply a counting unit. Just like a dozen means 12, 1 mole means 6.022 times 10 to the power of 23 particles. That number is Avogadro's number, and it tells you exactly how many atoms, molecules, or formula units are packed into 1 mole of any substance. If you can explain that connection clearly, you have got the foundation solid. And that brings us to the end of our lesson on stoichiometry. We covered mole relationships, balancing chemical equations, and calculating reactant and product quantities. These skills are foundational in engineering, whether you are designing pharmaceutical processes, optimizing fuel combustion, or developing materials. Every calculation you practice builds your ability to solve real problems that affect real lives. Keep working through the problems, stay curious, and never stop asking why. Once again, this is Miss Kathy. Be blessed and be a blessing to others.